Operation Graduation.
Welcome to an episode about precision medicine. Across the globe, many children are affected by childhood illnesses, and scientists and researchers have not yet found a cure for many of them. St. Jude in Memphis aims to combat these childhood illnesses using an area of research known as precision medicine, which uses specialized therapies and treatments to target patient individual genetics. And this form of research is now being used throughout St. Jude. Welcome to an episode about precision medicine in Memphis. So, to give a little bit of background information, I'm going to talk about where precision medicine came from and how this idea really started in medicine. So, in the year 2000, the National Human Genome Research Institute started a project known as the Human Genome Project. And you may have heard of this, but the main idea of it was to create a blueprint of our genetics and to map out literally everything that's in us. And it was completed in 2003, and it led to the discovery of how we identify disease-causing genes, which helps us to develop DNA sequencing technology and targeted therapies, which is what makes up precision medicine. So, a little while later, after 2003, there was a debate about whether precision medicine should be called precision medicine or personalized medicine. And this was because this form of medicine started targeting individual patient characteristics rather than treating patients as like a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. And technology was using diagnostics and molecular profiling. So they ended up going with precision medicine because it's more precise and it's not really personalized to every single person. So in 2015, a journal article known as News Medical talked about a precision medicine initiative that was launched by Barack Obama, known as the All of Us Research Program, which was aimed to reduce diagnostic testing and trial and error that is used when treating chronic illnesses in children. So at St. Jude, they published an article, and it was from their News and Emerging Therapies section, and it talked about the diagnostic testing that they do using precision medicine. So that's what we're going to talk about now. Precision medicine is not just one form of treatment. It's actually a series of disease prevention methods, treatments, and therapies that are used to slow or alter chronic illnesses. Outside of its physical aspects, it can also be a form of patient care that slows progression and deals a lot with communication in families and patients. It's also known to improve survival chances, make treatment options less toxic and more interactive, and it has more successful outcomes. St. Jude is often known for their patient care. When you think about where you want to go to a hospital, if you have some kind of chronic illness, oftentimes you think about how you want to be treated. Usually that means you don't want to be disrespected or have a physician that's not really interested in your case or is bad at relaying information to you. You oftentimes want that person to be very respectful and sympathetic, and you want them to be dedicated to your case. So St. Jude really focuses on that, and using precision medicine, they make their care very interactive. The goals of patient care are made clear in a communication and decision-making framework for pediatric precision medicine made by Brittany Green and colleagues, which says that patient care prioritizes clear communication of the critical elements of the planned genomic testing in order to help clarify details and ensure parental understanding. This basically means that the goal of patient care is to ensure clear and complete communication with physicians and patient families. St. Jude released an article called Clinical Research, Understanding the Importance of Nursing in Precision Medicine. And it says that St. Jude has done several studies looking at best practices regarding informed consent, barriers to clinical genomics research participation, and challenges for parents in understanding and emotionally processing clinical genomic test results. This means that St. Jude is working on developing different ways to communicate best with patient families, because a lot of times these families are emotionally overwhelmed, and there can be barriers when they're talking about test results or looking at treatment pathways for their patients. And it can just be a lot. So St. Jude really focuses on how they can best connect with these families. And as I mentioned, families have a lot of bad feelings when their child is in the hospital, especially for something like a chronic illness. A lot of times they're worried about the patient's age, what the risk of treatment may be, or the risk of testing, the ethics of the tests, all of the unknown procedures. But St. Jude is really good at addressing their questions and concerns, and they often do this in a very formal and educational way with multiple professional opinions. And they aim to make a safe space for all of these different people. St. Jude works to ease tensions and create personal connections with families. And in their article, Together, St. Jude says that good relationships between families and care team members can promote honest communication, encourage trust and partnership in decision making, and offer emotional support. So if you think to any personal connections that you may have in your life, like for example, if I say that I have a personal connection to Piper, you may think about what that means to you. So I might say that my personal connection to Piper means that I trust in her and I can confide in her if I need to. And that's what St. Jude aims to do with their patients and their physicians. They try to create those personal connections so that everyone feels a little bit safer when they talk and they feel like they can trust everyone around them equally. And even though that this form of precision medicine is not necessarily physical, it still plays a role in the evolution of precision medicine because, as communication changes, St. Jude works around it and they use what they can through precision medicine. So as I previously stated, precision medicine works around the heightened emotions of families and patients, and it creates an understanding through the use of individual genetics rather than testing and treating chronic illnesses as one solidified, unchanging disease. And St. Jude aims to ensure that patients are never alone in their journey. They often provide extra support and make treatment planning easy through the involvement of people like genetic counselors or pediatric geneticists. And the different perspectives from different professionals creates like these swinging treatment approaches. So if there's one treatment that is not working well or seems that there may be some conflict, if these professionals decide that they should go a different route, it's made very easy and they're able to do that. Precision medicine also reduces conflict and creates a proper, inclusive, and comprehensive patient care. So now that we've gone over the communicative aspect of precision medicine, we're going to talk more about the physical aspect and how precision medicine is being used in St. Jude. So to give a little bit of a history again, the journal article known as From Sequencing to Survival, The Growing Role of Precision Medicine in Pediatric Oncology by Sarah Trinder and colleagues talks about the technological advancements that have enabled the rapid analysis of tumor genomes and identification of actionable mutations, which allows the understanding of genome and mutation impacts on patients. So this means that in patients, when we see certain genomes or we see different DNA sequences, we're able to identify like which illness this may be or how it can be treated or what its symptoms may be. So this means that for potential future treatments, it may improve the effectiveness and the invasiveness of them. So as for potential future treatments, St. Jude is currently working on some of those, and their care and treatment page states that the technology that they're working on gene therapies, including gene editing, which could be used to correct the underlying cause of some diseases, including cancers and blood disorders. One of the most recognized forms of precision medicine technology is known as gene therapy, which has the promise for the treatment of sickle cell diseases, blood disorders, and neurodegenerative diseases caused by an error in the body's genetic instructions. Gene gene therapy uses tools to either edit the problem gene or to deliver a working copy of that gene to patients. So one good way that this is done is through a technology known as CRISPR. CRISPR is a technology used by the National Human Genome Research Institute, which they use to selectively modify the DNA of living organisms. And this allows for the deterrent of disease progression in a lot of children. At St. Jude, CRISPR is being used in gene therapies, and this is known as precision-guided therapy. Their new and emerging therapies section states that other treatments involve antibodies. They are made by immune cells to find and help to destroy tumor cells. A patient's antibodies are collected and then engineered in the lab to better target the patient's cancer cells. This can also apply to other chronic illnesses, not just cancer, so don't let that be like a definitive term. So antibodies are the immune system's self-defense, and they work by binding to pathogens, which are bacteria or like disease-causing viruses. And these antibodies often neutralize or flag the certain genes that are causing diseases or mutations, and they flag them for destruction. So precision medicine may use the use of antibodies rather than specific genetics. So just a little recap. Precision medicine has direct and indirect aspects, especially through communication and the physical aspects of it. The use of precision medicine at St. Jude is still being developed, and researchers are still working closely with it, especially in other forms of medicine. There is lots of potential for precision medicine as a whole, and it may eventually influence other types of treatments as well. But like any other form of research, precision medicine has its own setbacks and challenges. And for St. Jude, precision medicine is working to improve their patient care. So now it's time for our discussion, and we're just going to talk about some questions surrounding precision medicine.
I have a question. So does precision medicine offer anything unique for certain individuals, or?
Not necessarily. Precision medicine aims to shift from the one-size-fits-all perspective, and it's tailored more to subsets of people, so people with like similar diseases and similar symptoms. That way it can treat it based on their genetic or biological characteristics rather than as a one-size-fits-all aspect.
Yeah, that was a great answer, Sidney. What would you say the possible setbacks are?
So I think some of the setbacks could be, especially in communication, there could be a lot of misunderstandings. When people try to relay information, that could get messed up in transmission. I think that's the right word. Some patients and families may not understand the difference between precision medicine and personalized medicine, so they may think that they're getting something that they're not actually getting. And as for the physical aspects of it, some of these treatments could be ineffective. Results may fluctuate from time to time, and there may be unknown next steps or unknown genetic markers. And of course, with technology, as it's developing, there could be mistakes in that as well.
Going along with that, what would you say the potential of precision medicine is?
So I do think that precision medicine has a lot of potential in the AI field. As that develops, I think AI will have a good influence on research, and I think that the precision medicine will help with that. It could also potentially create little to no symptoms in these chronic illnesses or even cures eventually. So I think that's a good question.
Thank you. Could precision medicine possibly like go past illness one day?
I think potentially it could. If precision medicine is developed far enough, I think potentially precision medicine could help to reverse mutations. Maybe not all of the mutations in like one specific disease, but I think that it could definitely reduce symptoms of it. And like I said, there could eventually be cures or different solutions to a lot of these chronic illnesses. So that's a good question. Thank you. I'm really not ready for this, actually. But for real. Okay. Can you lock
scared.
in? Swallow your water and walk. Have. Stop. We're gonna have like a bleep count.
Shit.
It's not even cuss words. You're like, dang, y'all cussed a lot. No.
No, it's not a lot of tape.
I'm saying no member I won't.
I'm not saying you don't. You can't. I was just saying. It's slow.
Ooh, quiet on set.
My bad.
I didn't.
Hello, 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 hello. Tonight,
Temporary.
Who got traded? They said Miles Garrett.
Looks
Okay. So,
Go. Let's go. I was gonna say something. Yeah, man.